If you are waiting for your Canada PR, I need you to hear this. Your file can be perfect, your documents can be complete, and you can still be waiting for a long time. Not because an officer is slow, but because Canada can only accept a limited number of people each year. So today I will show you how to stop guessing. I will show you how to use the quota and the queue to understand your real timeline in 2026. And yes, I will use the newest numbers we have right now. And quick note, this video is for information only. It is not legal advice. If your case is complex, talk to a licensed immigration professional. This video is going to be heavy on the numbers, so I implore you to get a sheet of paper and a pen and take notes. And if I say anything that you don't get, you can always rewind and watch it back. And that's why I implore you to really save this video and share it with anyone you know who is waiting for their Canada PR. Now, let's get into it. Most people do the same thing. They open the IRCC processing times tool, they see a number like 7 months or 24 months, and they think that number says everything they need to know. But IRCC literally tells us it does not work like that. IRCC says the times are not a maximum. They are not a guarantee. And the biggest reason is that the immigration levels plan sets how many newcomers Canada plans to welcome each year. So even if processing capacity changes, the time you have left can go down or it can go up. Now here's the new part that most people still do not use. The tool now shows your place in the line. It can show how many people are ahead of you and how many people are waiting in total. So when you check your timeline, you should not only ask how long, you should also ask how long is the line and how big is the yearly room. That is quota and queue. Let me show you how to pull your queue information first. Now, when you use the official tool, you will see 2 questions for many PR categories. Question 1, have you already applied? Question 2, when did you apply? If you answer yes and enter your date, the tool can show your estimated time left, people ahead of you, and total people waiting. Now, this is important. If you already applied, do not panic if the apply now number looks weird. IRCC explains this very clearly. They say that the forward-looking time shows what a new person would face at the end of the line. But if you already applied, you are closer to the front. And IRCC says something even stronger. Do not reapply. If you reapply, you go to the end of the line and it will take even longer. So we use the tool for one job. We use it to understand the line we are in. Now let's talk about the quota. Canada's plan for 2026 sets a target of 380,000 permanent admissions. And the plan shows a range of 350,000 to 420,000. Now inside that total, IRCC sets targets for each big category. Here are the targets that matter most for this backlog talk. Federal High Skilled is 109,000. PNP is 91,500. AIP is 4,000. Spouses, partners, and children is 69,000. Protected persons in Canada and dependents abroad is 20,000. Humanitarian and compassionate is 1,100. So here is the core truth. If the line is much bigger than the yearly target, some people will wait into the next year. And I know that is frustrating to hear because your life isn't just about the number, but understanding this math is the only way that you can plan your life right now. Now, what is the newest official backlog snapshot? That is what we're going to talk about now for each type of PR application. Please check the timestamps below to jump straight to your specific stream if you want, but don't miss the conclusion where I explain what to do if the math doesn't look good for you. IRCC released data on January 20th, 2026. That data shows the system as of November 30th, 2025. The total backlog across all IRCC lines were 1,05,800 applications. And the total inventory was 2,130,700 applications. For permanent residents, IRCC had 941,600 PR applications in the inventory, and 515,000 were in backlog, meaning past their service standards. And here's what jumped out for me. The express entry backlog share rose to 32%. Express entry aligned PNP backlog share rose to 53% Family sponsorship backlog was 20%. So yes, pressure rose in late 2025 and IRCC entered 2026 with stress, with backlog stress. Now, let's go from backlog to what is happening in real life. I will use the newest monthly processing update we have right now. It is based on the February 12 update, reported publicly on February 13th. This is where it gets really useful for you, because it includes people waiting estimates, so you can actually see the line size. Let's break it down stream by stream. Federal high skilled includes things like Canadian Experience Class and Federal Skilled Worker. As of the February 12 update, CAC shows 7 months with about 34,200 people waiting. Federal Skilled Worker shows 7 months with about 43,000 people waiting. Now, compare that to the 2026 target for Federal High Skilled. That target is 109,000. So on the surface, this looks more balanced than other streams. Does that mean that everyone gets PR in 2026? No, because admissions are people, not files, and new people apply all year, and some people already approved might land later. But here is the practical takeaway I want you to take. In Federal Skilled Worker, the numbers look closer to possible in 2026 for many applicants than some other streams. Now, let's talk about PNP, so you see what I'm saying. As of the February 12 update, PNP via Express Entry shows 7 months and about 12,400 people waiting. Non-Express Entry PNP shows 13 months and about 108,300 people waiting. Now compare that to the 2026 PNP target. That target is 91,500. One line from this should have hit you. Non-Express Entry PNP waiting is already above the yearly target. So what does that mean? It means some spillover risk into 2027 is real if the volumes stay high. Again, that is not a personal delay. It is the line size versus the yearly target. Now, what about Atlantic Immigration Program? As of February 12, AIP shows 33 months and about 13,700 people waiting. Now, the 2026 AIP target is 4,000. That is why AIP looks slow. The line is so big, the yearly space is small. So, what is the takeaway for AIP applicants? If you are already in the line, do not assume 2026 is your year. Plan for a longer wait. And if you're in Canada, build a status plan right now. Now, let's go to family sponsorship. As of February 12, spouse or partners outside Canada, non-Quebec is 15 months with about 47,300 people waiting. Spouse or partner inside Canada, non-Quebec is 21 months with about 52,600 people waiting. That is about 99,900 people waiting in just those two non-Quebec spouse lines. Now compare that to the 2026 target for spouses, partners, and children. That target is 69,000. So yes, many families will still wait beyond 2026. Now one more detail. If you are tied to Quebec, the tool can show longer times. IRCC says Quebec can take longer because Quebec also needs to process the application under the Canada-Quebec Accord. So they show a separate time for Quebec. Next, let's talk about protected persons and dependents. As of February 12, protected persons inside Canada, outside Quebec, is about 17 months and 99,500 people waiting. Dependents of protected persons outside Quebec is about 37 months with 55,400 people waiting. Now compared to the 2026 target for protected persons in Canada and dependents abroad, that target is 20,000. On its own, that looks like a serious mismatch. But here is an update many creators miss. The plan includes a one-time initiative. It aims to streamline the transition of about 115,000 protected persons in Canada over 2 years. And the plan says these admissions are in addition to the 2026 targets. So for this group, 2026 and 2027 may look different than people assume. Now let's move to H&C, humanitarian and compassionate. As of February 12, H&C shows more than 10 years. The queue shows about 49,800 people waiting outside Quebec and about 18,100 people waiting in Quebec. Now compare it to the 2026 H&C target. The target is 1,100. Only 1,100. That gap helps explain why the public estimate looks extreme. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what do I actually do with all of this? Good question. Here is what you need to do, especially if you're still waiting for your PR. Step 1, go to the official processing times tool today. Pick your PR stream. Choose yes, I already applied. Enter your date. Write down the time left, the people ahead of you, the total people waiting, and the update date. Step 2, look up that stream's 2026 target from the levels plan. Then ask yourself one simple question. Does this line look close to the yearly target or much bigger? That tells you if you should expect 2026 to be realistic for you or if your plan should be for 2027 and beyond. Step 3, protect your status if you are in Canada. This is where people mess up. They focus on the PR, but they ignore their work permits that might be expiring. Here are 3 official tools you should know. 1, maintain status. IRCC says if you applied to extend or change your work permit before it expired, you have maintained status and you can keep working until IRCC makes a decision. But you must stay in Canada and keep the same work conditions. 2, bridging open work permits. If you are a PR applicant in Canada, you may qualify for a bridging open work permit if you meet IRCC's conditions. For example, for express entry, IRCC lists things like you live in Canada, you are the principal applicant, you submitted a complete PR application, and you passed the completeness check, and you have your AOR, Acknowledgement of Receipt. 3, sponsored spouse open work permit. IRCC says your sponsored spouse or partner can apply for an open work permit if they live with you in Canada and IRCC confirmed the PR application is complete. They must keep legal status and wait for approval before working. Now, warning number 1, please do not reapply because the tool is not looking good for you. IRCC says reapplying puts you back at the end of the line and it's going to take longer. Warning 2, do not treat processing times like a promise. IRCC says they are estimates, not guarantees. So what is the point of all of this, Shay? The point is control. When you use your quota and queue, you stop feeling helpless. You can set real expectations for yourself. You can plan for your work permit. You can plan for your family. You can plan your money. You can have peace of mind. You stop getting shocked every time the number changes. If you want, I can turn this into a simple monthly series where we update the lines and the targets as new data drops. If you want that, leave update in the comments and I will know. For now, comment your PR stream and the month you applied and tell me one thing. Does your line look close to the quota or is it looking way longer? Now, before we drop off, did you see the video that explains the hidden side of the new Canada Express Entry categories? If you have not seen it, make sure to check it next here because I broke down some aspects of these new categories that you may not see elsewhere. I wish you the very best and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.